On this episode, we're going to discuss how long it takes to close escrow on a home and what's a special recording.
You ask real estate questions, and I answer them. This is the Ask Daniel Los Angeles Show.
Welcome everybody to episode 29 of the Ask Daniel Los Angeles Show. Let's get started.
Claudia asks, now that my offer is officially accepted, how long does it take to close an escrow on the home?
So all the negotiating that you did back and forth, that has nothing to do with how long your escrow period is. The escrow will begin as soon as you both, the buyer and the seller, have executed the contract and have come to terms. So that is when escrow starts. And now we got to look at your actual contract. Are you doing a cash offer? Well, that could be done in 10 to 15 days. Are you doing a conventional loan? That could be done in 30 days. Are you doing FHA? That could be done in 45 days. So it really depends on what your financing is for the property. But typically, most people get 30-day escrow periods.
Lauren asks, how do I send my deposit money over to the escrow company?
Once your offer is accepted to buy the home, you have to send over a 3% deposit within 3 days. So the escrow company is going to send you wiring instructions. It's going to say their account number. It's going to say how much you're supposed to send over. You take that piece of paper over to the bank and you do the wire. But before you do that, call the escrow company. Make sure that the wiring instructions are indeed correct, because there's a lot of fraud going on. A bad person will send you wiring instructions before the escrow company does. You're now wiring over money to some foreign land and you'll never see that money again. So as soon as you get the wire instructions, call the escrow company up, confirm it, then send the money.
Kate asks, is there a certain day I should close escrow on?
There isn't a certain day that you should close an escrow on, but there is a certain day that you should avoid. You should avoid closing on a Monday, because if you close escrow on a Monday, that means that you got your loan that Friday. Okay, so that means that you paid 2 days of interest on a home that you don't actually own just yet. So I had a property that I was selling in Los Angeles, and that's what the buyer, I represented the sellers, and that's what the buyers did. They funded on Friday and closed on Monday. Now, I thought that that was dumb, but I was representing the seller. So it was in my seller's best interest that they funded the loan on Friday, because what if on Saturday there's a big earthquake and the lender on Monday decides, you know what, I don't want to lend anymore on this property. That's a big problem. But by securing the loan on Friday, we're going to close on Monday. So I did that in the best interest of my client, the seller. But when representing the buyer, I would tell my client, don't fund on Friday, fund on Monday, and then close escrow on Tuesday. That way you're not paying any extra interest, plus you're protected about any earthquakes happening over the weekend.
Mark and Ann ask, what is a special recording and how is it different than a regular recording?
Let's first talk about a regular closing. So your lender funds the loan on Monday. On Tuesday, the county recorder's office is going to call escrow up and say, congratulations, you have recorded. The escrow company will call me as the agent. I will then call you and say, congrats, you officially own the home. You don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to sign anything. You don't have to do anything. That's how normally it works. But if you want to do a special closing, special recording, that means that you actually go down to the recorder's office, stand in line, and file some paperwork so that you record the day that your lender funds the loan. So let's say they fund the loan on a Friday and you want to do a special recording so that you close on that Friday. You have to get into that house. You have to move in that particular weekend. That's what your option is, because if you don't do that, if you fund on Friday, that means you close on Monday. Special recording, fund Friday, close Friday. All right, that's how special closings work. That is it for episode 29 of the Ask Daniel Los Angeles Show. Check out my website. You'll see all my listings there, contemporealtors.com. You keep asking real estate questions and I'll keep answering them.